I'm so glad you guys are talking about infant's nest. I found a huge infant's nest out here in my yard, my backyard. It's just swarming with infants. You gotta watch out for their stingers. Star Wars Minute.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's the daily show where we analyze, we scrutinize, and we celebrate solo a Star Wars story 1 minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.fun.
I am John Mathot. I am an assistant director on Futurama, coming to Hulu 2023.fun.
Looking forward to it.
To Hulu.
To Hulu with love.
Touche. Hulu.
Well, thanks for coming back, John.
Yeah, great to be here.
You want to talk about minute 103 with us today?
I do.
Perfect. Minute 103 of Solo, a Star Wars story, starts with Enfys Nest asking if you know what that pack of animals became. Take a guess. And it ends a minute later with Enfys declaring that the Star War has just begun.
Now.
Was that pack of animals Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Oh.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
And that animal's name was Mo Green.
And now page 3.
Yeah. Is this the wait? Which happens first? Does she talk about the 5 families, or is it the did everybody take their masks off?
They take
their
helmet
off.
Yes, in this minute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then she talks about the. She's like, yeah, Crimson Dawn and the other 5 families.
And then
the other,
like how they saying how they did this, all these different worlds and all these different, and that's their cue to take their helmets off. And
all right, the rest of the 5 syndicates. That's where we go. Sorry,
5 syndicates.
I was mixing.
Yeah, I was mixing 5 families. That's a little too.
Frankie 5 syndicates.
Cannoli.
I had to look that up. I was like, well, what does she mean? The rest of the 5 syndicates. And I thought I had it, and then I received conflicting information on one of them. Well, you got
you got?
You got the Crimson Dawn. Of
course.
We knew that.
Should we guess? I'm going to say the Hutts.
The Hutts? Mm-hmm. Another one?
I was
going to say it's on the tip of your tongue, but that might be in bad taste. And bad taste is also in bad taste because these people don't have tongues back here. Sorry, everybody.
No
Senseless.
I'll give you a hint. We just saw them a minute ago.
Prince Izor, the Black Sun.
The Black Sun is one of them. That wasn't who I was talking about. But
pull that out of my butt.
Yeah.
The Pikes.
Yeah, there we go.
The Pikes. Oh, wow. Jeez.
So those, everybody agrees on those. But then at one point I read that the other one was called the Unbroken Clan. But then when I clicked on, again, love Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a very valuable resource to us. But sometimes there's things that are frustrating like this, where I feel like it should have been, in the thing about, there's, when I clicked on syndicates, I should have had this list, but then I had to click on 2 or 3 other things, and then I found a link to it, but it wasn't linked from the page where they're first mentioning it here.
Well, so they're trying to cover their tracks, clearly.
Well, that must be it. We don't want all this information on syndicates up there. Yeah. It wasn't the Unbroken Clan. They were not apparently the other one. It was the Cremora Syndicate.
Cremora Syndicate.
Cremora.
Isn't that you put that in your coffee?
Yeah.
You probably think the song is about you.
Non-dairy Cremora Syndicate.
This minute's about me.
I've never heard of that one. Is there any other more information about who they are, or have we seen any representatives of them, or is it all I could tell video game stuff from 20 years ago that I'm not going to know what they're talking about?
There were a set of crime families who operated during the reign of Galactic Empire, blah, blah, blah. At some point, Jabba the Hutt became affiliated with the Cremora Syndicate, and as a result of his collaboration with the Cremora, he gained a position on the Grand Hutt Council. So this is because it evolves too. Later on, these kind of splinter and turn into different, families come and go. The Sontoul Pride keeps popping up, which is a
Kanji Club.
Kanji Club.
Kanji Club, that was going to be my other guess.
Eventually, Kanji Club, it evolves, and Kanji Club and the Guavian Death Gang kind of, fill some of these gaps.
Well, figure, if this is like a galaxy, like each organization must have hundreds of subcategories beneath it. You know what I mean?
Right. But it's like the
gangs associated with bigger
just
gangs,
like the fictional, like New York Mafia, like things, bubble up and there's the main players. And then sometimes ones will merge and dissolve and whatever, and it'll change, but you usually have a couple of these main players here. Anyway, but the Cremora Syndicate is I believe, as of when Enfys Nest is talking about the five, the rest of the five syndicates, she's talking about the Black Sun, the Hutts, the Pikes, and the Cremora Syndicate, I believe. Unless it's the Unbroken Clan, which are a different thing that who knows.
Or did you see or uncover anything that the Cremora were a particular like race, like Ithorians or something like that? That would be kind of interesting.
There is a cool the kind of thumbnail
I don't
image.
like the besmirching of Thorians there. What is the casual tossing?
Hey man, they can be anything they want. They can be. Who's to say? Who's to say?
Oh, this isn't the
hammerheads of the five families.
Yeah, it works well for shaking people down. You just hammer some knuckles, and they were built for this job.
Good old hammer knuckles. Here's interesting. The Cremora Syndicate was first mentioned in the novel Tarkin, which I believe was the first.
What are you talking about?
The first instance of new canon, right? Wasn't the line was drawn right before Tarkin?
It was Tarkin is on one side. Forget which side of the line it wound up falling on.
I think
it might be the first canon novel.
And Darth Plagueis, I think, is the
last
wrong side of canon.
Was the last Legends novel.
Oh, really?
Something like that.
I know Tarkin is certainly revered in a lot of circles.
The guy or the book?
Not the character.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of circles and Tarkin, it's I don't know if it was intentional or not, but when the lady draws the circle on the wall, and it looks a lot like the early prototype design of the Death Star, which even you can see because remember when they're in Yavin and they're showing the computer program, it actually has the old the trench going through the dish in the middle, and that's kind of like this. So I'm going to count this as an honorary Death Star appearance because as we all know, every Star Wars movie has to have a Death Star in it somewhere. So I'm going to count this one.
This also, Alex, answers the question from yesterday's episode where it was an album, everyone. It was 45 minutes long. From yesterday's episode where how do they communicate without tongues? And they just drew pictures. There you go. That was actually one of the, kind of seriously as well, oh, she can't say, so she has to draw a picture. If she was indeed one of the generation, she seemed like a generation that might have had her tongue cut out.
And if it's just like yells, so tell them.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, they got my tongue cut out already.
Yeah.
You're asking me to tell them? You're standing right there, you with the tongue in your mouth. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, it was the Crimson Syndicate." You're making me get my hands all dirty.
I love. What if she had like a Wile E. Coyote style, just like a sign on a stick that said Crimson Dawn.
Help.
Yeah. If you guys, this might not be good audio podcasting, but the YouTubers might appreciate it. If you guys were playing charades and you drew a thing, you had to act out Crimson Dawn, how would you do it?
Two words.
Two words.
First word. Let's see.
I would probably start with the second word first. I feel like dawn would be easier.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, actually. I'd act like I was sleeping. And then once someone figured that out, I would be
morning, and you'd be like, no, come on, keep going.
Yeah. I would show the path of the sun. And so I go dawn and then crimson. I don't know. That's a tough, break up.
Sunrise. Why is it sunrise?
Yeah.
I'm not playing this game anymore.
Red sky at morning, sailors take warning. They're like, no, close.
I might do that if they get stuck on that. I do sounds like, and I would do lawn, like show someone mowing the lawn, and then they'd be dawn. Crimson, though, that's
Crimson
a tough
lawn.
one.
Crimson is really hard. Even red.
Yeah.
That might be hard too. Even just
Wolverines! Are you allowed to point to red things in the room and say like,
I don't know.
I would cut my arm and then I would point to the blood and then
blood.
I slowly passed out.
You cut your arm and then you would draw the circle
wake
logo.
Up. We're still playing.
Crimson Dawn's little logo, just like this woman does, and then that's what you would. We'd all be like, "Oh, it's Crimson Dawn," and you'd.
That would have been really funny if, like, you know, if Tekkit had been like, Crimson Dawn,
right? Yeah. Like circles with a line. Is that a ball? Is it a ball? They are guessing.
It was about the third or fourth time they said the words Crimson Dawn in the film when I was watching, and I started to doubt myself. It's like, was that the name of the political group in Die Hard that Hans was trying to get freed from the prison? No, that was Asian Dawn. But for a while, I was thinking it was Crimson Dawn the whole time. I'm like, did they just bite that from Die Hard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You thought you had a cinematic universe on your hands.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Crimson Dawn. They conquered space and they came to Earth.
Because I was like, Crimson Dawn, didn't they have that song about tying a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree? And I was like, oh, that's Tony Orlando and Dawn.
Right.
Crimson and Dawn.
Tony Orlando and the Crimson Dawn.
Yeah. That was Trent Krim from Ted Lasso.
I think they opened for Pure Rainbow and the
Cloud Riders,
or whatever. What was the other one they came up with?
From yesterday?
Still Stained Rainbow.
Stained Bro or
right,
whatever it was.
Yeah. Oh well.
We worked down to something.
So it's the big unmasking.
Everybody
unmasking.
Takes off their helmets.
Take them off.
I would have liked somebody to have a giant rainbow wig. Like, yeah, because I do love that sound and it should have happened, but we don't get that. One of the first ones we see is a Mimbanese Cloud Rider here.
Mm-hmm.
A Mimbanese, which is great because we were lamenting when we were in the mud on Mimban, in that Mimban mud. They shot a whole bunch of stuff with the Mimbanese Liberation Army, and we didn't get to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now I'm glad we got to see one here.
At least far away, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see the different alien races.
Yeah.
That guy's name is Waydirk.
Waydirk?
Waydirk.
John Waydirk. He's a red Waydirk from Planet 10. Because that's
good luck getting service.
Yeah. We also see, well, we got three members of this crew appear in other Star Wars. At least three members of the crew.
This is almost like a who's like a Justice League almost.
Right.
You're
or like a traveling Wilburys.
There you go. That's a much better analogy.
That's where all the bands are opening up for.
Right.
Yeah.
Or what was the heavy metal supergroup? I don't know.
Hearing Aid?
No. Was it oh god, was it the one with Ted Nugent in it? Was it that one?
Oh yeah, that was one, right? Damn
Yankees. Oh.
Well, there's another. I don't know. Anyway, oh, you know, I was thinking of Contraband. That was it. Contraband. Supergroup. Let's use this term loosely because it featured members of Shark Island, the Macaulay Shrinker Group, LA Guns, Vixen, and Rat. So. Wow. Mm-hmm.
I think the word super should not be applied there.
Yeah.
They're a group.
Yeah.
They were a group.
I thought for a second there's the Hollywood Vampires. Was that Johnny Depp and Joe Perry thing? Or
oh yeah, right.
Kind of
also the name of an LA Guns album. So there you go.
Oh. Are we just gonna be naming supergroups now?
It came with 3D glasses. That album.
There was the Hindu Love Gods. How many? Okay. What's the definition of a supergroup? Because Hindu Love Gods had two people from REM and Warren Zevon in it. Is that a supergroup?
Wow, I'd say so.
List of musical.
But they have two people from one group. Does that cloud it by making it not a true supergroup?
Maybe. Is that more of like a side project?
It's almost
like
an REM
super. That's pretty project. Super though. That's still pretty super.
I know the Wikipedia page is not helping me because it's like
Power Station.
It's listing like you know, Cream and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and Led Zeppelin and stuff like that. I'm like, yes, but not. I mean.
Well, yeah. Now I guess they're more famous as groups now than they were at the time. They were kind of super groups, but now they're just seen as groups.
Wasn't there a Duran Duran offshoot like Arcadia or something like that? I don't know if that was a super group. I think that was a whatever is less than a group. There's super group, then there's group, and then whatever Arcadia was less than
like
grand, so it's a minus group or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, not a super group, a like reduced group.
So yes, indeed, one of these unmasked folks.
Yeah, who else are we on?
Played by one of them was played by Warwick Davis.
Yes.
Warwick Davis as Weasel.
Weasel with a Z.
He's the Wheeze.
You can tell this was done during the time of Pauly Shore's popularity. But they named the character Weasel.
Yeah. He's got the buff nugs, was it? I don't know. But the the Weasel from the Phantom Menace. So Warwick Davis in the Phantom Menace played a guy who looked, a little bit like Willow had fallen on hard times.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, like long scraggly hair and but you could see his face, and he was part of the gang there hanging out with Jabba and Bib Fortuna.
Enjoys seeing people being killed.
Yeah, he loved it.
Correction there. But he wasn't hanging out with Jabba and Bib Fortuna. He was in the stands with other aliens.
Was he?
No, he was up in the booth.
Wasn't on the dais with them?
I'm pretty sure he was just, they kept cutting to him with a group of, like a big alien with like a big pterodactyl type head. I don't think he was with Jabba.
I think that was all in the booth though.
I think Alex might be right on this.
Oh, he's with Watto.
Okay.
He sat and cheered along with Watto. All right.
Yep, but this begs the question: is it the same guy?
It is.
Absolutely is.
Really?
So it's canon that it is in fact the same character.
Wow. So he went. Wow. So he went from, I guess, the light side to the dark side. I guess, or just decided, or maybe overheard Beckett, from that far away, and said, "Oh, Tatooine, huh? Sounds great."
Well, this is after the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
So he went that way. I mean, he's in a way, his arc is kind of like Han Solo's arc.
Wow. Okay.
Han Solo's arc. That was the animated show they did, right? Where he had a
no, it's a super.
Only showed on the Trinity Broadcasting Network.
All Rathdars and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Was I? No, that has nothing to do with anything. Never mind.
Supergroups is another supergroup.
No, it's about the. I was saying they should
the Notting Hillbillies.
They should bring back. They should make a streaming service like TCM, but for television, and call it the Dumont Network. They should bring back the Dumont Network. Make it a streaming service for old TV shows that are not the ones that end up in syndication, but the ones that are anyway.
Ernie Kovacs and
yeah. Oh, please, absolutely.
Yeah.
Another one that we have.
People want out of their 4K television.
Yeah, exactly. to watch.
I want to see a compressed black and white thing that was filmed off of a TV monitor.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
We got another one.
Well, can I point out something else about Weasel that I think is kind of fun?
The Weasel.
The Phantom Menace was filmed it was released in 1999.
And, the Dumont Network.
Solo was 2018, so it was 19 years in between. But it was filming in universe. It's 22 years since the Phantom Menace.
Oh, so it's pretty close.
In our universe, it's 19 years, so it really does work out chronologically for Weasel. For Warwick Davis.
The Weasel chronology.
He's wearing it well.
Yeah.
Who else you got, Pete?
Well, we also have our old friend Benthic Two Tubes.
Benthic.
Now, this is not Ediro Two Tubes. Ediro Two Tubes?
There are there's a total of 4 tubes altogether.
I'm seeing
2 different tubes.
Yeah. 4 tubes. It's two sets of 2 tubes. They were egg mates.
A series of tubes.
A series of tubes.
I'm seeing double 4 tubes.
We got Benthic, and Benthic is the same one who is a member of the Partisans of Saw Gerrera's gang in Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Across the aisle.
I forgot. Oh, Edrio is the other one. And Edrio, not Edrio. Come on. Edrio we see in, what is he in? He was created for Rogue One. Oh, wait. So wait, are they both Saw Gerrera's gang? Oh yeah, they both did. Yeah. Edrio and Benthic joined Saw Gerrera's gang. So there were two different two tubes in Rogue One. One of those two tubes is here.
This guy.
Is Benthic, who's a member of the Cloud Riders.
Benthic.
They are from the planet Yar Togna.
Yar Cogna.
And
pirates.
Talk like a Benthic day.
And
well, Cloud Riders have some good recruiting then.
They do. I'm loving this gang.
It's very diverse group.
The furthest up my alley, of course, is the Cloud Rider known as Chusido. Chusido is the Rhodian. She's kind of the blonde Rhodian, or reddish, blondish, orangey Rhodian there. And she...
That's a Mary Tyler Moore spinoff, right? Rhodian.
She was we see her later adventures in The Mandalorian. She was one of the bounty hunting guild that tries to retrieve / assassinate the Baby Yoda. And she is actually killed, I believe, either by the Mandalorian or by Grief Karga. Later, or maybe one of the other Mandalorians when they're escaping. I forgot
when the Mandalorians help.
That whole big escape from when he's running off with the child, and Chusido is one of those trying to rein him in, and but happy to see her here.
Better times.
Yeah.
Pre-death, it's nice to see her.
Pre-death is always pretty much better times. Well,
I wonder if in this moment she, like when she was dying, her life was flashing before her eyes, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I met Han Solo that time."
If only I'd known the bounty.
Wait a minute, that was Han Solo. Wait a minute, that was Han Solo. And let's not forget the Cloud Riders, the name themselves. Cloud Riders is straight out of the Marvel comic books. Now,
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hedgie. Well, that's pre-Hedgie. Hedgie. Hedgie was in that story. The Cloud Riders were the biker gang that Hedgie and the gang were hired to help fight.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a swoop gang. So same thing. This is absolutely intentional on behalf of it's John Kasdan, who had already said the large stack of Star Wars comics at his grandparents' house or whatever was part of what they were going for with this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And
only now that you say it, now it clicked into place. There was like a puzzle piece in my brain that like, oh yeah, from the comics.
Yeah, it's the 8 for Aduba 3 or whatever that Seven Samurai kind of storyline. They're being menaced by a swoop gang, and that swoop gang is the Cloud Riders. So
wow,
there it is.
Well, any kind of comic stuff is not going to be complete. I will not be satisfied until Jackson shows up.
Yeah, it's
Big Green Rabbit.
He's
He's been canonized a bit, like in Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But
we want a live action Jackson.
Oh, we want a live action Jackson.
Yes, played by Carl Weathers, of course.
That
would be ideal.
Carl. I don't know if it was this year, but I know that at one of the celebrations, somebody did a really, really spot on Jackson costume for one of the celebrations.
Nice. Yes, we saw somebody walking around in one this year. It was pretty good.
Flight suit and everything was really great.
Although it looked like one of the we've talked about this. Alex and I have talked about one of the problems that, just like a lot of things, when you try to translate it from comic book to reality, they're trying to make Jackson look cooler and look kind of more realistic to make him look
Donnie Darko.
Yeah,
yeah. That would. Yeah, I can see that.
It's just not.
And so I like it when he looks goofy, because that's why we like him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But that was one of the there was like an alternate cover, I think. That was his first. There was Star Wars #1 had an alternate cover, and it was like, it's like Han Solo, Princess Leia, Darth Vader, Chewbacca, R2-D2 all on one side of a door. And like there's a little sound effect coming out of Darth Vader's breathing machine, and on the other side of the door there's Jackson with his ears up against the door, and he's like, "Hello, anybody? I can hear you breathing." Like implying that he's not going to get let into canon, basically, that he's being left out of all this. But lo and behold, people like him, and he's
someone should do a story where all the legends or people who didn't get in,
right? They have like a bar that they hang out in or something like that.
Yeah,
and they're all telling.
I was gonna say, or do some kind of thing where they're going to break into the canon. They're going to
Ooh,
nice.
Oh, that's very Roger Rabbit. No kind of
heist picture.
This will get us noticed.
They're going to break into Pablo Hidalgo's house and and make him canonize them.
It's Fanboys 2.
I also want to call attention to one more alien. Pete, did you have any more that you wanted to that you were going to?
No, please go on. I just wanted to get to Choo Choo Chusido.
There's a sort of alien there that looks kind of almost like Nine Numb, but has like sassy teen horns also.
Mm-hmm.
Keep looking out for that one. That is
sassy teen horns.
Silvasu Fee is the name of that character.
Silvasu Fee.
And played by an actress named Stephanie Silva. So the Silvasu Fee is kind of a Tuckerization of that name.
We were supposed to keep an eye out for her because we came across, she played multiple characters, right, in this movie.
Well, here's something I learned is that apparently this character is in, at least in the Wikipedia, says that this character was watching Han Solo and Lando when they were playing Han Solo's card game back earlier in the movie. So I was curious. I would want to go back now and see if, in fact, this character was in that scene.
We did, because she came up before, because I was talking about the different things. She's also Sylvanie Fest, and we made jokes about that. Sylvanie Fest from Rogue One is another Tuckerization, but one of those kind of cool like monks with the metal hood, metal helmet, and the red robes on Jeddah.
Red robes.
Red robe. Yeah, so she came up when we were supposed to look for her. Yeah, they really just keep doing like she plays her name's Stephanie Silva, and they just keep doing like she plays Sylvanie Fest, she played Silvasu Fee, and she plays Sylphony Still in Rise of Skywalker. So
wow. They're like rushing those like pink pages at the last minute, like this character, come on, give me a name, quick.
Really? We already used Sylvanie Fett. All right.
Oh, crap. I thought that was gold.
Just keep pressing refresh on the amount on the anagram generator. It comes up. Pete, you did refer to, I want to clarify this, Silvasu Fee, gender neutral. Not in the they sense, but the Wikipedia goes out of its way to not use it, just refer to as the alien or the spy, or they never use any pronouns. So I don't know if that's so
interesting.
There you go, for someone who's looking for a character to do something with. Check it out.
Silvasu
That's all I
Fee.
have. That's
Well, we also, real quick, I just want to point out that Enfys Nest's mother was previously
Enfys Nest's mother.
Yeah, was previously known as Enfys Nest. That's where we learned that there was, she said, like I do this the same reason my mother wore the helmet or whatever.
Right.
So we know that now it's a passed down thing. Do we know how long ago it was? Was it recent? Is this her first gig?
Oh, I thought you had the answer. I think it's supposed to have happened when I think she's supposed to be 17 or 16 now, and I think her mother might have passed away when she was like 11.
Let's see. Yeah, in 11 BBY, Nest's mother perished. Leaving and I go to click on Nest's mother.
Oh, 11 BBY. So she was 16 then. So it must have been fairly recently. Yeah, she was born in 27 BBY.
Born in 27.
Yeah.
In 11, her mother died, and in 10, this happens in 10. Yeah, so within the last year, she took over.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I think the mom died, I think, in a freak lollipop licking contest accident. No tongue.
That's just dozens were left without tongues after that.
Yep. No one won. They just had to cancel it.
Again, Wikipedia, I love you, but in 11 BBY, Nest's mother perished, and so I clicked on, and there are two things clickable: mother, which leads to the page for parent, and perished, which leads to the page for death. Neither one of those gives me the information I'm looking for right now about Enfys Nest's mother. So,
yeah, one thing we're learning this whole season is that a lot of solo characters, or not solo characters, but supporting characters in these kind of blank slates. So
that's good. An opportunity.
Because don't forget, like it was 30. We were watching Star Wars for 20 years before we realized all those characters had real names or something. So,
right. Yeah.
You know.
What it? So if we can assume, we can extrapolate now. If Enfys Nest is the name of like the character, basically, Enfys Nest has been around for years, bothering Beckett and other people. Then, unless she was like Enfys Nest Jr., which would be a reveal, like she probably has a different name that we don't know now.
Yeah, theoretically,
Stephanie Silver.
Yeah, there we go. That was
well. I had this for a future minute, but I looked it up, and Enfys Nest does not have much of a future in terms of what because I learned that Kira is appearing currently in the Star Wars comics,
sure,
which happened during The Empire Strikes Back, and Kira's in them. So I was wondering if Enfys Nest had returned. Seems like that would be a natural fit for her to be a kind of rebel adjacent
like
person,
a foil.
But other than one kind of story set immediately after Solo, there's no canon material after that. So big question mark on the future.
When you said she doesn't have much of a future, I assumed that she was in another story where she perished horribly. But no. They just haven't used it much. All right, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have. It's not documented. So
right.
So it's
All right, that's good. They could just be leaving that open for future use.
Yeah,
it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's hanging out with all those non-canon characters in that bar somewhere.
She go
planning their heist.
Go round up.
Yep.
All those guys, Prince Chizor and Hedgie and who's the
Mara Jade?
Mara Jade, of course.
Mara Jade.
That horse that flies an X-wing.
That question. I got
big Luke.
Would there be? We should maybe do a poll now, and we don't want to poke the hornet's nest, but it's like, there should be an interesting poll to see like which formerly canon character is the next, like who's the highest ranked prospect from canon to make it into the
that you think is going to make it, or that
should.
You'd like
should.
Oh, that's not poking the nest.
I feel like Star Wars fans,
unless you can leave a comment afterwards. Here's why everyone else is wrong.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, Disney should be destroyed and stuff like that.
Well, they're not wrong, but
I mean, that idea has its merits in certain, but yeah, they're not gonna. I don't know. It'd be an interesting thing.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Jackson,
if you're listening to this, maybe we already tweeted this a while ago. Who knows?
Maybe the show's already been canceled by the time this airs because the controversy was so great from the
right. And Disney.
If only they knew when they were recording this episode what was coming.
My last line, the last line of the minute is Enfys Nest saying that the Star Wars the war has just begun. And I thought Han Solo should say, well, not for me, sister, or something. Although, as we learn, that's not the maybe Beckett is the one who should be saying that.
Yeah, that's true.
See, Han Solo's a bit of a softie, but we'll get to that tomorrow.
We will.
John, will you be able to join us tomorrow?
I will be.
Say yes.
Same time, same Star Wars time, same Star Wars channel.
Thank the gods.
Will Enfys Nest be able to convince them to give her the coaxium?
Stay tuned.
Tune in next time.
You should also tune into my other podcast, The Godfather Minute. If you're interested in discussing other 5 families, then you can go to wherever you find podcasts. Check out The Godfather Minute. Pete, is ABCDTOS back with its first hiatus episode?
At this point, we might have done. Yeah, as we said, we finished up our run of the original series. We are now slowly, once a month or so, we're doing one of the original cast movies, and we're gonna take a breather and see what's happening. Not what's happening in the show. That's a little different.
What's happening now?
But yeah, we're gonna see. So we might have our episode about Star Trek V: The Final Frontier out.
Yeah,
what do you think
alphabetically first.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
It definitely has things to like in it.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah, you have to listen to. But I can't keep flip-flopping on this. Like, Would I rather watch Star Trek V or Attack of the Clones at any given moment?
That should be your barometer for
meeting new people.
Right, yeah.
Hi, you don't know anything about it.
Do I want to watch a new person or do I want to watch Attack of the Clones? Anyway, do all that and join us tomorrow here on another episode of the podcast known as Star Wars Minute.
In a minute.